Okay, Jay Lee, this is a good question. Now, at the same time, I'm not 100% on Virginia small nuance changes and differences. All 50 states have to, do at least what the federal regulations state. All right, they can't do less than that. So, I'm always speaking when I'm answering these questions on the base level, which most states just do the base level. But every state has the option to enhance and provide more. All right. So in that regard, I don't. I'm going to give you the base answer, and then we're going to walk through some of this, and I'm going to walk through some of these issues that I've seen when it comes to homebound. All right. So she's on a partial homebound. Some of her services are still done at school to where she's able to attend class, and then not anything in between. Now, so many of the schools that I deal with regards to homebound, the mindset is that if the child isn't capable to attend school just like everyone else, then they should not be permitted to just sort of come and go as they please. I think that's dumb. That isn't anywhere in the law that says that they can do that and restrict movement and somehow treat it as some kind of punishment. But they do. I can't tell you how many schools will sit there and say, well, your child's on homebound, so they can't go to football games. Or your child's on homebound, they can't go on field trips. That is an absolute ridiculous policy that I see replicated time and again. But it's based upon this fictional idea that kids are somehow having a whole lot of fun at home and then getting the benefits of doing the fun stuff at school. And so the attitude is that they should have to suffer like all the other kids from 8 to 3 and not. So that, I think, this is me, my bet is that that's the majority of your issue. Your majority of the issue is nothing to do with the transportation. Transportation under special education is a right. And if the IEP team has determined, the IEP team, which includes school personnel, the IEP team has determined that this is what is required for your child to receive a FAPE, morning class, afternoon class, homebound in between. And if they've determined that, then this is what your child requires to receive a FAPE, and transportation is a right within the framework of what the IEP team determined for your child to receive a free and appropriate public education. Now, under that, there's got to be flexibility built in. All right. And that's what you're trying to work with them. Can she just walk home? She lives so close. She's almost 16 years old. And they have a hard time with that because it's during school hours. Then at that point, are you going to sit there and sue them if something happens to her in transit during school hours in between because she's on homebound? We live in that kind of society. Now, once your child can drive, can she transport herself? Yes, absolutely. There shouldn't be any problem with that at all. Now, at the same time, do I think she should be able to walk herself home and back to school? Absolutely. There's nothing that says that she can't. But if that's notated in the IEP that you fully understand and that as the parent, you will be responsible for her, from the point she leaves, to her getting home and then her returning back, because at the end of the school day, the reason that they don't care that she walks home is the school's done. She belongs to you again. So at 3 o'clock, your child belongs to you again. All right. She doesn't ride a bus. She walks. So the minute she's off that school campus, she's yours again. Anytime during school hours that she's on their campus and during school hours, see, she belongs to them, and they're responsible for her. So negotiate with them about that. Notate it in the IEP that during this time period that she's released from school, that she will walk herself home, and that you will be responsible for ensuring that she is exactly where she needs to be in between that time gap that she needs to go back up there. That is an alternative that you can always negotiate with them on. They may not feel comfortable with that. But as far as her driving, I have many, many clients that they drive back and forth that are on Homebound. And if it's beneficial for them, but if they sit there and say, well, she's well enough to drive, then she's well. BS arguments. BS arguments, because too many administrators are looking at Homebound as a mechanism of student abuse of the system. And it is a wrong analysis. It is incorrect. They're the ones with the problem, not your child. They need to change how they think to come in line with federal and state regulations when it comes to the necessity and the benefits of Homebound. I'm a growing believer in it for a lot of kids that have anxiety, and for a lot of kids that a traditional school day just does not meet their needs. And so I'm a big believer in flexibility. And if school systems do not start thinking outside the box, they are going to get crushed by the school choice movement, by homeschool parents, by micro schools that are offering a montage of services on a limited basis and then homeschool the rest of the time. Schools need to start thinking outside of their archaic, ancient box, because the regs require that. And so I hope that answered your question. I mean, give me an update. I know you asked this question a while ago, so just, I'm interested.